Welcome to the Shabbat Channel, a taste of CSAIR in your inbox. We wish that we could be with you in person, but for now we think this is the next best thing. So check out this week's episode for music from an amazing artist and Torah from our own CSAIR community. For now, you'll have to supply the Kiddush. Shabbat Shalom. When a stranger walks into a room, we wonder, who's that? Author E. Annie Proulx describes that moment, the innate curiosity to know what blood, clan, country, street, mental, emotional, or psychological predilection claims the unknown one in our midst. That's who we are when we walk into a room and no one knows us. We are that unknown one. Whether in literature or life, everybody wants to know, who is that? And it is so satisfying when we find out. This week's Torah reading rides on the tension of who is that. Jacob's sons stand before their brother Yosef, but they don't know his identity. They know very little about this man, except that in previous meetings, he seemed capricious and a little too interested in hearing about their father and younger brother. The tension builds for the brothers and for the man, and finally he cannot hold back. He dismisses his Egyptian servants. He weeps and declares, I am Joseph, Ani Yosef. It's a startling admission. I know that Joseph is going to say it, but every time I read the story, I'm struck by how those few words change the mood of the scene and the direction of the story. So how do these words accomplish so much? The Chafetz Chaim was a scholar whose mind was trained to focus on the weight and importance of the things that we say, and here, the Chafetz Chaim turns his attention to the brother's state of mind and to the weight of Joseph's admission. He explains from the moment the brothers first arrived to buy food in Egypt, and Joseph acted strangely to them, accusing them of being spies, they wondered what was going on. But the minute they heard those two Hebrew words, Ani Yosef, all surprise and doubt vanished. But revelation does not just assuage the doubts of those of us on the outside waiting for clarity. It affects the person who reveals as well. For Joseph, for Yosef, exposing his identity after taking so much effort to conceal it is dangerous. When he asserts his connection to the penniless strangers in Canaan, he risks a lot. His status among the Egyptians, the psychological edge he held over the brothers, the emotional armor which allowed him to recreate himself in Egypt, to go from favorite son, hated brother, to all-powerful ruler. In reading the story, I sometimes get the feeling that Yosef was as surprised by his announcement as were the brothers. I am Joseph. I imagine him revisiting this moment again and again, wondering what made me say those words. Was it the repeated mention of my aged father? Was it the look of desperation I saw on Judah's face, somehow reminding me of my own times of desperation? Was it the tears that I shed as emotions washed over me? Maybe it was just my desire to be human again, to be done with the secrets. Joseph might have thought all those things. It can be overwhelming to claim your identity. Think about a time in your life when a declaration changed everything, when you realized something important about who you are, when you told your parents that you would follow a path they could never have imagined, when you admitted something that you kept buried for many years, when you suddenly said, I love you. The emotions that can accompany these revelations surprise us, and they force us to acknowledge that the world can never be the same after certain words are uttered. Joseph always let himself be defined and limited by others. Joseph, the spoiled brother. Joseph, the dreamer. Joseph, dad's favorite. Tzofnat Paneach, Pharaoh's second in command. But for this moment, he simply says, I am Joseph. This is his declaration of independence. And the declaration brings the brother's speculation to a close. It makes him vulnerable, but it also represents an important step in his maturation as a sibling and as a leader. He's challenging his brothers by saying, here's who I am. Who are you? We all need a place in this world where we can say, this is who I am, a place where Our declaration will be welcomed and we will be embraced. And the person we open up to will be ready to say, here's who I am as well. Shabbat Shalom.
Hello, CSAIR and Shabbat Shalom. My name is Rabbi Sam Blustin, and I am a rabbi at Havatachim Synagogue in Atlanta, Georgia. And the melody that I'd like to share with you today is a melody that I wrote to the piyyut Ya Annah, which was brought in the Lev Shalem Sidur as kind of the introduction to the poetic offerings as part of the Musaf service, the Musaf Amidah, for the different holidays. And the reason that this melody spoke to me so much was that it expresses simultaneously this idea of longing for a God which is distant, which we can't feel in this world, with this idea that we have in Judaism that God's glory fills the world. And in this world that we live in today, I think we are no stranger to longing for closeness to those that we love in the world, longing for the things that we've missed out on in this last year. And my hope in this melody, which was recorded for a piyyut album for JTS, is that if the melody itself can't help to bridge some of that longing we have in this world, that at least it can give melodic expression to some of that longing. Ya Annah. If you're playing at home, it's on page 359 of Lev Shalem. Ya Annah, מקומך נעלה ונעלם, ואנה לא אמצאך, כיבודך מלא עולם. Ya Annah, מקומך נעלה ונעלם, ואנה לא אמצאך, כיבודך מלא עולם. נמצא בקרובים מעשי ארץ הקים, המשגב לקרובים, המבטח לחוקים. אתה יושב קרובים, אתה יושב קרובים, אתה שוכן שחקים. תתהלל מצווך ואתה ראש מהללם, גלגל לא ישחק. אף כי חדרי, אף כי חדרי, אף כי חדרי עולם. Ya Annah, מקומך נעלה ונעלם, ואנה לא אמצאך, כיבודך מלא עולם. Ya Annah, מקומך נעלה ונעלם, ואנה לא אמצאך, כיבודך מלא עולם. תרשתי כבודך בכל ליבי קראתיך, וצאתי לקראתך, לקראתך מצאתיך, ופילי גבורתך, ופילי גבורתך, בקודש חזיתיך. מי יאמר לא רחיים שמיים וחילם, יגידו מורך. כבודך מלא עולם, יאנצך, מקומך נעלה ונעלם, ואנה לא אמצך, כבודך מלא Shabbat Shalom. Ya Annah, Ya